In Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, the Faerie Dragon is described as a tiny dragon no bigger than a common house cat with insectoid wings, intelligent eyes, and a coat of iridescent scales that reflect the colors of the rainbow. They also have a long prehensile tail used for gripping tree branches and moving around. Like other dragons, they get more powerful as they age, but due to them being from a distant branch of the draconic family tree, and much closer in relation to pseudo-dragons, they tended to live shorter lives than their full dragon counterparts. They're known for being perpetually young at heart, being tricksters with keen minds, and like dragons, they do gather treasure. However, theirs takes the form of trinkets, baubles, and sweet-baked goods. Though they reflect a rainbow pattern, their scales do take on a prominent color that changes as they age, and acts as a good indicator of where they are in their lives. As they age, their scales turn from red to orange, signaling ascension out of infancy, and then change to yellow, green, blue, indigo, and finally violet, with each passing decade, with their lifespans being around 60 years or so. The Faerie Dragon has an AC of 15, 14 HP, and amazing stats except for strength. They're trained in Arcana, Perception, and Stealth, and can speak Draconic and Sylvan. As a bonus action, they can cast the spell Superior Invisibility, and they can speak telepathically at all times while also being resistant to magic. They're innate spellcasters who start out with Dancing Lights, Mage Hand, and Minor Illusion at birth, but gain a new spell with every decade of life until they can cast Color Spray, Mirror Image, Suggestion, Major Image, Hallucinatory Terrain, and Polymorph once per day each. In combat, they have a bite that deals 1 flat damage and a Euphoria Breath attack that targets one creature with a DC 11 Wisdom save that, if failed, causes them to be unable to take reactions for 1 minute, and also roll a d6 at the start of each of their turns to determine what they do for that turn. The possible outcomes being do nothing and run in a random direction, or do nothing but get to try and break the breath's hold over you with another save. As a DM, I would use the Faerie Dragons as a companion for my players, but not before having a bit of fun at their expense first. I would have it stealthing nearby, waiting for them to come close before using spells such as Polymorph or Hallucinatory Terrain to make them panic. I would have it use invisibility in between its pranks to stay out of the party's line of sight, and use the Euphoria Breath attack on every player it can. This can make for a fun encounter where players feel as though they're under attack by some sort of powerful creature, and at a severe disadvantage since they can't tell where the attacks are coming from, only to have it revealed later on that they were being tormented by a tiny cat-sized butterfly dragon. Since all of its spells and abilities are meant to annoy or crowd control and not actually harm, I don't believe that the Faerie Dragon is meant to be an actual fighting creature. However, other Fae creatures could use them as crowd control devices, sending them to confuse and disorient players while they do the actual fighting. In mythology, the fairy folk are well documented by many European peoples, with the sprites and pixies being those most similar in appearance to the Faerie Dragon. In particular, the pixie with its childlike trickster nature and butterfly wings is likely one of the two major inspirations for this creature, with the other obviously being dragons. We've covered both before. Check out the Week of the Dragon and the Pixie videos if you haven't already. And it seems like someone decided to have a little bit of fun and combine these two mythological creatures into one, taking the imagery of the terrifying dragon and putting a little Fae twist on them to make them less dangerous and more likely to be a fun and funny interaction for players. In comparing the monster to its two mythological inspirations, we find that the Faerie Dragon is a combination of two very well-known myths, paired lovingly together to create a fun-loving and lovable creature in D&D. If you enjoyed that video, please leave a like and comment below, and consider subscribing to the channel. You can also join the Patreon for $1 a month to access videos days before they're posted here, as well as other exclusive stuff like short stories, videos, and more.